Welcome to truthmafia.com. This is Tommy Truthful. If you look closely here, you'll see these ripples going through the clouds, kind of like if you throw a stone into a pond, the same ripple effect that you would see. Now, here's the difference between a chemtrail and a contrail, because they're two totally different things. One is produced by chemicals, and then they use a frequency, the 5G microwave radiation frequency, to activate the nanoparticulates that are in the chemtrails. Now, what they're doing is terraforming our atmosphere. Lucifer is creating his artificial kingdom. And the people up at the top in the CIA with Evergreen Air, they're part of it too, okay? They have been spraying us for a long time. You put the two chemicals together, borium and aluminum, it spells Baal, and we know they worship Baal, the king of the air, the king of the airwaves. So now they're not just spraying this over our heads.
This is DARPA hydrogel. It uses MOF technology. That's metal organic framework technology. And it forms into crystalline structures that look just like the images that Dr. David Nixon and other scientists are finding around the world. Crystal structures that self-assemble into 3D photonic crystals. These are used as biosensors. And these metal organic frameworks come from DARPA hydrogel, that includes quantum dots, graphene quasi-crystals, graphene oxide, and a host of other nanotech, a witch's brew of metal organic framework, holding all of this nanotech within hydrogel that can be injected and programmed to self-assemble via crystallization.
Could a strange substance found by a Southwest Arkansas man be part of a government test? Well, that's the question at the heart of a phenomenon called chemtrails, now getting widespread attention. Well, tonight, KSLA News 12 investigation reporter Jeff Farrell shows us the results of testing we had done about what's in our skies.
It seemed like some mornings it was just crisscrossing the whole sky. It was just like a giant checkerboard.
Bill Nichols snapped several photos of the strange clouds from his home in Stamps, Arkansas. They begin as normal contrails from a jet engine, but do not fade away like a normal contrail. Soon after, he saw particles in the air.
You know, because we'd see it drop to the ground in a haze.
Nichols then noticed the material collecting on the ground.
This is water and stuff that I collected in bowls. I had it set out in my backyard on my dad's pickup truck.
KSLA News 12 had the sample tested at a lab. The results? A high level of barium, 6.8 parts per million, more than 3 times the toxic level set by the EPA.
Armed with these lab results about the high levels of barium found in our sample, we decided to contact the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. They told us that yes, these levels are very unusual, but at the same time they added the caveat that proving the source is a whole nother matter.
Barium is a hallmark of other chemtrail testing, which even attracted attention from a Los Angeles TV station. There's already no shortage of unclassified weather modification programs by the government. But those who fear chemtrails could be secret biological or chemical testing on the public point to the 1977 Senate hearings in particular, which confirmed 239 populated areas had been contaminated with biological agents between 1949 and 1969. Later, the 1994 Rockefeller Report concluded hundreds of thousands of military personnel were also subjected to secret biological experiments over the last 60 years. But could secret testing be underway yet again?
I'd rather it be something inert and benign, something that's, not causing any damage, but I'd like to know what it is.
KSLA News 12 discovered chemtrails are even mentioned by name in the initial draft of House Bill 2977 back in 2001 under the Space Preservation Act. But the military denies any such program exists. Jeff Farrell, KSLA News 12 reporting.
And, it turns out until 9 years ago, the government had the right under U.S. law to conduct secret testing on the American public under specific conditions. Only a public outcry repealed part of that law with some exceptions.
Now, Jeff's report mentioned high levels of barium linked to those alleged chemtrails. We wanted to find out exactly what effects barium has on the body. We spoke with Mark Ryan, the director of the Poison Control Center. Ryan tells KSLA News 12 that short-term exposure can lead to anything from stomach to chest pains. Long-term exposure causes blood pressure problems. Ryan addressed concerns by chemtrail researchers that barium could be meant to wear down a person's immune system.
Anything that causes ill effects in the body long-term chronically is going to affect your ability because it's constantly working on the body. So from that aspect, yeah, that's a potential.
Ryan says he's conducted research on his own about secret government testing on the public, but he's still a bit skeptical about the alleged chemtrails, at least at the moment, because the Poison Control Center has seen no calls about exposure to barium.
Let's take a look at this HR 2977 bill. You guys know me, I always look at the numerology. The elites have a hidden language. Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and abomination of the earth, equals 2977. Go figure. The idea is that these trails contain more than just water vapors. They supposedly contain nanotechnology that can infiltrate our bodies, establishing a surveillance grid fueled by fallen angelic technology. This surveillance grid would allow these mysterious entities to monitor our every move and manipulate us at will. The belief is that these nanotechnological particles are released into the atmosphere through airplanes, dispersing them across a vast area. Once inhaled or ingested, these particles allegedly find their way into our bloodstream, our brain, and organs, effectively turning us into an unwitting subject of global surveillance system. The origin of this technology can be traced back to the ancient fallen angelic beings who shared their knowledge with certain factions within the shadow government. The nanobots introduced through the chemtrails make their way into our bloodstream. They allegedly replicate and embark on a mission to rewrite the genetic code. This disturbing process is said to transform individuals into an abomination, defying the natural order and incurring the wrath of the divine. The chemtrails, seen as a beta test, were merely the preliminary phase of a grand plan to establish a more efficient method of introducing these nanobots in our bodies. The ultimate goal is to exert complete control over humanity, turning us into mere pawns manipulated by forces beyond our understanding. These fallen angelic technology is at the core of the nefarious plot, providing the knowledge and power to carry out such disturbing genetic overhauls. For more information, go to truthmafia.com. Truthful out.